congratulations at your inaugural speech where you emphasized homelessness. Of all the city agencies in the history of New York, I can't think of an agency that's more dedicated to a Band-Aid approach and arrogance to the community than DHS. A Band-Aid when it comes to jobs, housing, mental illness, on and on, all kinds of social services, families. So thank you for mentioning and highlighting that in your inaugural speech. What specific programs do you have to help us in our community with homelessness?
It's a very good question, and you're absolutely right about DHS. And of the audit priorities of my office, the first audit we did, and we announced that we're engaged now in doing, which I announced, is a top-to-bottom review, a forensic audit of the New York City Public Housing Authority. We have already sent an engagement letter, and our auditors are in NYCHA. Until we figure out what the problems are systemically in the NYCHA housing, we are never going to do right by the tenants. So that's audit number one. We're also looking at the Department of Homeless Services. In a city like ours, for 22,000 children to sleep in a homeless shelter every night is a disgrace. 50,000 adults, 22,000 of our babies are in homeless shelters. We don't know where they are. We don't know how they're doing. We don't know how to get them out because we don't have a long-term plan. But we've added to the homeless shelter system with no plan to get people out. I'm particularly worried about these children because part of what they have a right to is access to education, not only around the homeless facility, right, but where their point of origin started. So I looked at these issues when I was in the State Assembly and found that a whole lot of our children were not actually being returned to their original school, so they were taken out, learning in homeless shelters or having to move from the homeless shelter to a local school that may not be their best option. But this is an issue that we have to identify because the shelter system is expanding, not retracting. And part of what the budget has to reflect is a strategy, not just money, but a strategy to reduce the population. Some of that will be about affordable housing. Some of that will be about looking at the New York City Housing Authority. But we have to start being proactive again on creating permanent housing with services in a city like ours.
Thank you. Next question.